Hello, hello everyone. 고추장모. I'm San-Yi from Korea, South Korea. Ever since I arrived in Bhutan, I've been overwhelmed by the series of wonderful surprises. I'd like to sincere thanks to the CBS and organizers for the opportunity to be part of this meaningful and inspiring gathering. So today's topic is not directly related to my research area, but I've chosen to share some personal insight on the changing status of Vajrayana Buddhism in Korea. Vajrayana Buddhism, specifically the Tibetan Vajrayana here, is gaining increasing attention in contemporary Korea, a country with the deep historical roots in Mahayana and Sun Zen tradition, Buddhism. To understand why more Koreans are becoming interested in Tibetan Buddhism, despite the country's own rich and long-standing Buddhist heritage, it is essential to first consider the historical and cultural backgrounds of Korea Buddhism. In this presentation, I will begin by outlining that context and then offer my insight into why Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhism holds particular appeal for Korean practitioners today. Well, even though Bhutan has a rich resource and living Vajrayana lineage, Korea has not got much opportunity to have a beautiful connection with this beautiful heritage. I hope this presentation can be a kind of step toward building deeper connections. Okay, first I will briefly introduce the information and structure of traditional Buddhist communities in Korea for those who may be less familiar with the history of Korean Buddhism. Second, we'll outline how lay education is organized in major Korean Buddhist orders, which is Sangha. Third, we'll explore how lay practitioners in Korea have sought alternatives to traditional Sangha-based education in order to deepen their engagement with the Buddhist philosophy and practice. Fourth, I will share how Korean Buddhism, often seen as a kind of old-fashioned in Korea, is now attempting to connect with the younger and broader audiences through innovation outreach. Finally, I will present my thoughts on the growing appeal of Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhism in Korea and its evolving role within this context. Okay, then let's begin here. So it's the first history overview of Korean Buddhist community. Most of things you can see on this table, the most simple table you will ever see about Korean Buddhist history, I think. So. Buddhism was first introduced to Korea Peninsula during the Three Kingdom period, 4th century, the Goguryeo Baekje Silla, and it soon became a dominant force in both religion and culture. During the Goguryeo dynasty, Goryeo dynasty later, the Buddhism was the state religion and closely tied to political power, a relationship that eventually led to institutional corruption. As a reaction, the Joseon dynasty, and also they had to have a power against the Buddhist community in Goryeo dynasty. They adopted Confucianism as the state ideology and actively suppressed Buddhism in Korea. During the Japanese occupation, Korean Buddhism faced significant challenges, but also began to reorganize as an independent organization from the government, so they can be okay with any kind of government in Korea. So, and then the Jogae Order, the first modern independent Buddhist organization in Korea, was officially established in 1960, which is very recent. Today, the Jogae Order is the largest and most influential Buddhist order, Sangha, in Korea. So most of temple, wherever you go in Korea, is I think almost like 90% of them will be Joge order, you will see, if you come to Korea. It's based on Sanjen practice, particularly Hwadu practice. Hwadu means that you realize the true nature of yourself directly by holding this key praise. It's a little sounds familiar for some people here, I guess, but not really the key praise, but direct realization. So, but we have also other different Sangha orders in Korea. According to 2018 report by the Ministry of Culture of Sports and Tourism of Korea, there are 146 officially registered Buddhist orders in Korea. Among them, the four largest are here: Joge order, Taego order, Chontae order, Jingak order. Here, Joge order and Taego order has a kind of a same root, and they practice the sun mainly, and some vipassana and some chanting, but not really as a main. And here, this you can see small but beautiful here, Chontae order and the Jingak order. They mainly practice the chanting mantra. They all offer lay education programs, although the depth and structure vary. So I try to simplify as much as possible the lay education in major Korean Buddhist orders here. First, Joge order, the largest and most representative Buddhist order in Korea, has developed the most structured system of lay education. It's like a 3 levels curriculum, includes a teaching on Buddhist doctrine, meditation, and ethics, with a particular emphasis on sun-based philosophical training. I keep saying sun, which you can just interpret as a Zen, is a kind of, we use it as sun in Korea. So in addition, popular outreach programs such as Temple Stay serve as a gateway for introducing Buddhism to general public. And the Chontae order actively offers a variety of educational program for lay practitioners. This includes standardized courses such as a 5-day foundational retreat, a month-long intensive practice period, and the ordination training programs. In addition, systemic training is provided for administrative leaders and staff. These efforts have contributed to the strengthening of lay communities and have established a framework for active lay practitioners in temple administration and religious activities. The Jingak order is a rare example of a lay-centered Buddhist tradition that emphasizes both doctrine study and social engagement. It illustrates how Buddhism's social role can be meaningfully integrated into the lay practice. By the contrast, in traditional monastic center communities, which is most of monastics in Korea, the communities in Korea, lay education often reinforces the group identity over individual spiritual development, with the clear divisions between those who practice and those who support. Lay people are typically viewed more as devotees than active practitioners. Because of this limitation, many lay Buddhists have sought alternative form of study and practice outside the traditional institutes. Independent Dharma centers and organizations, private meditation halls, and Buddhist academies have begun to emerge. Many lay people interested in studying Buddhist philosophy more systemically have also enrolled in the university programs in Buddhist studies, as like me. And also, in my own experience at graduate school, about half of students were ordained monks, monastics, while the other half were lay practitioners pursuing a deeper understanding of Buddhist philosophy. This is still the case today. So beyond domestic alternatives, internationally influenced have played a growing role. Since the 1990s, Vipassana meditation has gained popularity in Korea. Inspired by global mindfulness movement, many Koreans travel to Southeast Asia to learn this first and brought this practice back home. And Vipassana appealed to many because it seems more structured and accessible than Hwadu meditation in Jogye order, which is mainstream in Korea. It's gradually approached attractive practitioners across a wide range of experience levels. And Tibetan Vajrayana here been gradually expanding its influence in Korea since more specifically from 2010. We will look into further later if we have a time. So let me try to make shorter about this temple stay. This temple stay, Jogye order, they start to have this with this World Cup event in 2002 in Korea and Japan, World Cup. And then they start to provide this temple stay life, and then this like meditation and tea ceremony with the monk, and you can discuss with the monk, and you can stay in these very beautiful monasteries. And that was very helpful for people to have more interest into Buddhism and then Buddhist culture and Buddhist philosophy. And you can see those are great numbers in the last 20 years. And then even Korea's traditional Buddhist festival, once mainly attended by older practitioners, are now being repackaged for younger audience. For instance, you can see these are very traditional performance was happening usually, and now they turn into more like a new trendy like performances. So it went a little bit extreme that you see he's not the real monk. He's a comedian, but he wore the monk's robe, and he had a nickname and as a second identity. And then he also played officially in the Jogye Order Festival, which was kind of arguable about the appropriation, but then anyway, it was effective to engaging younger generations to Buddhism in Korea. And then another thing is there is this international expo, then somehow it became really viral in SNS, social network service. Then thousands of 20, 30 ladies, they came to this expo and they wait for like 2 hours to enter, and they enjoy all these Buddhist goods. These teachers, they say, lightened. And then, I love you sentient beings, it's written like that. So it was very viral and trendy for people. So they got interest into Buddhism, but then actually Jogye Order or any other Korean Buddhist community, they couldn't really share the opportunity for them to get into the actual Buddhist practice. So that's why, and then I can see time is flying here. So that's why I think that's one of the reasons why Vajrayana became very popular in Korea. But here I can just introduce this very brief history that we started to have an official relationship with the Dalai Lama donated the Tibetan canon to Dongguk University, Naltang edition. And then from actually 2010 somehow, you can see there were many, this Sangha was established in Korea, which is very interesting. So since especially COVID, especially from 2023 to 2024, the number of Vajrayana teachings and events in Korea has grown dramatically. So it's almost like every month you can see very important these teachings happening in Korea, and you see like a few hundreds people is coming here and there, which is very new in Korea, because you will never see as a very traditional event. So when I observed this for last almost 10 years, I was thinking that why the people think it's very interesting and why they feel it's attractive for them. So I think I found that with this based on traditional lay practitioners background, which they don't have enough, they feel always. So there are things that you can see here. The first that they provide very nice this. I think it's better that we can just read here. So they just feel that there is a kind of Tibetan Buddhism has more reliable curriculum for monastics, and that they can share the wisdom to people, and also they have many different skillful means and method to practice. So that's why it's not only this one how to practice, but then you have other options. That was, I think, main reason. And for young people, that we are very influenced by Western culture. So when these Western countries, they reveal this Vajrayana is very useful for our life, then that also bring idea for Korean young people. So they start to check the books and medias, and they come to this Vajrayana teaching event, and then even they are very beginner, they can meet this great Lama, and they can have a question and answer, they can ask for advice for the practice. That is a mainly very important reason for them to feel attractive. And also very casual, then we have a very super strong hierarchy culture in Korean Buddhist community. So they feel more relief, I guess. So the conclusion is even in a context like Korea, where both traditional and modern form of Buddhism coexist, external traditions that provide lay people a meaningful way to practice the Dharma, such as Tibetan Vajrayana, may flourish extraordinarily. I believe that the encounter between the expanding lay-oriented practice culture in Korean Buddhism and the Tibetan Vajrayana tradition transmitted through global network is not a coincidence, but a natural and a timely development. I am deeply grateful for this profound lineage of Dharma continue to offer benefit not only to Korean Buddhists, but also all who seek its wisdom. May this Rise of Vajrayana in Korea flourish with compassion, wisdom, and skillful means, and bring even greater benefit for numerous sentient beings. Thank you.